everybody. Welcome to FQLive episode 9. This is Enrique Fausto. I'm your FQ mom. FQ stands for Financial Intelligence Quotient. To those of you who have read already the article for today, thank you very much. To those who sent their messages and comments that they liked it and they already shared it with their family and friends, thank you, thank you. To those who haven't read, we are providing a link below in the comment section, so feel free to read it and to share it to those who may benefit from the article about loss aversion. Okay, our topic for today is very FQ because this is a principle which was very fundamental in the development of behavioral economics, the fusion of economics and psychology. You know, it was demonstrated in a landmark study entitled Prospect Theory, an Analysis of Decision Under Risk by Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky. You know that Daniel Kahneman, in fact, won a Nobel Prize in 2002 because of this study. However, unfortunately, his co-author, Amos, already passed away a few years earlier than that, in 1996. So, what is loss aversion? Loss aversion is that principle that talks about the way human beings are wired, that the psychological and emotional impact of a loss is more than the psychological and emotional impact of a gain. Okay, let me show you this graph. Can you see it? Check it out if you can see it. All right, let's talk in economic parlance. If you remember your ECO 101, the term utility, this is the unit of measurement to gauge our satisfaction when we acquire or consume something, either product or goods or services. All right. So, if the pleasure of acquiring is like 2 points, 2 utility points, the displeasure or the pain of losing that same amount, okay, is not just -2. So the utility of 2 points is not going to be a disutility of -2 if you lose that object, okay, because it is not a one-to-one correspondence. It is twice. We feel the pain of loss twice as much as we feel the happiness when we gain something. Okay, so that we can understand it even better, let's talk about money. All right. For example, you gain 1,000 pesos. So, wow, happy, yay, 1,000 peso richer. However, imagine if you lose that 1,000 peso. Do you think it's going to be equal in the scale? Are you going to go back to zero? No. You're going to feel the pain of losing it twice as much. Para kang nawala ng 2,000 pesos. Feeling mo. So, in order to zero it out, you have to gain 2,000 pesos in order to just equate it to losing 1,000. All right? Examples. There are certain examples there. You know, there have been a lot of very interesting experiments done to further study this loss aversion principle. One that I discussed in the article is the use of commissions and bonuses to increase employee productivity. First option is the usual. You have an agreed upon set of parameters, deliverables between the employer and the employee, and then the bonus is given at the end of the calendar year. And then the other option is that, okay, you give it already, the bonus is there, but if the employee is unable to meet the deliverables agreed upon at the start of the year, then you will be taking back that bonus. So which do you think was more effective in improving the productivity of the employees? It's the option which took back. It's option B. Because of the loss aversion. Natatakot sila na mabawi yung bonus nila. So they had to really do well and deliver the agreed upon measures. Another example, there was a grocery store in the US that tried to do its part in discouraging the use of plastic bags. So Scenario 1, again, is that they would give a rebate to those who will not ask for the plastic bag. It was a 5 to 10 cents rebate. And then in the scenario 2, they would just charge you. If you need the plastic bag, then they would charge you 5 to 10 cents. It's the same again, the same amount of money. But which measure do you think was more effective in discouraging the use of plastic bags? Option 2 again, because of loss aversion. Ayaw nila na mabawasan sila ng 5 cents and 10 cents. It's not the same as feeling the happiness in a 5 to 10 cents rebate. And then, third example, trial period. Do you ever wonder why a lot of companies, they give you this free trial period? They make you use their product for free for a specified period of time. What happens is that something is switched. During the trial period, you feel like you are now the owner of whatever product you are allowed to use for free. Supposed to be temporary, but you now have this feeling of ownership. I have a friend who showed me her very nice condo, and there were a few pieces of painting hanging on her walls, and then she told me that, you know, Rose, the artist just allowed me to hang her paintings here so that it can help me make up my mind. Of course, you guessed it right. She bought the whole lot because of the sense of ownership that she developed during the trial period. The loss aversion kicked in again, so that she just bought the whole lot. Okay, applying now to saving and investing. Do you ever wonder why only a minuscule less than 1% is invested in the stock market? It's because of loss aversion. Even if they know that their savings account, their current account, and even the time deposits are earning so little, they are not willing to take that risk. They are not willing to put their money in that asset class, which has already been proven historically to give you the highest return in the long run. Why? Because of loss aversion again. And you know that this is also a matter of framing, which is also discussed in the article today. When I say a matter of framing, there have been several experiments in the line of the prospect theory, and the one that I'm going to discuss with you right now is that of Dean Buonomano. There's also a link provided in the article. And then the participants were given $50. And there were two sets of options to choose from. Scenario 1, keep the $30. So you have 50. Remember, keep the $30. That's your first option. Or B, or second option, gamble with a 50-50 chance of either keeping the entire $50 or losing the entire $50. Okay? Can you guess what happened? The results. The participants became risk averse. You know, only 43% decided to gamble. The majority did not. They'd rather I'll just keep the $30. So that's what happened. Now, if the framing was switched a bit, scenario 2, first option, okay, $50 to start with. Now lose your $20 na lang, sabi niya. Or gamble. Gamble with a 50-50 chance. Either you get the entire $50 or you lose the entire $50. And then, guess what? The participants decided to gamble. 61%. That's a huge difference. Come to think of it, scenario A and scenario B. Take a closer look at it. May pagkakaiba ba yan? May pagkakaiba ba yan? I mean, if you keep $30 out of the 50 or you lose $20 out of the 50, pareho lang yan. Pareho lang yan. Pero kasi, it's the mindset which was shifted. So now, the way you would decide would totally change. It is said that when we are in a gain frame, we become risk averse. So, keep ko na lang yung $30. Yun yung naging answer nila. But when we are framed about losing, and because we hate losing way too much, twice as much as we love gaining, we now become risk-seeking. Diba, no? Parang there's an irony about it. When you are reminded about losing, parang, ay, ayoko talaga, I don't want to lose. And that's when you become more gung-ho about it. So let's apply again, going back to the stock investment, which only a very minuscule, less than 1% is doing. Why is that? Because siyempre, siguro, kausap mo yung friend mo, pare, di ba, kunento ko na sa'yo, mag-invest ka na sa stock market para sa retirement mo habang mga 30 plus years old pa lang tayo. Binasa mo pa nga yung libro ni Jeremy Siegel na Stocks for the Long Run, wherein he documented, I think, over 200 years comparing the asset classes. And it was proven that really the stocks, it's the asset class that provides the highest return in the long term compared to gold, real estate, and of course, other fixed income instruments. Pero syempre, sabi ni pare, delikado tayo dyan. Baka magalit si Mrs. Takot sa risk, takot kay Mrs. So, what happens is that naka-fixed income lahat siya. Pero please lang, wag naman sa savings account, zero interest yun, ano. However, if you now switch the framing to a loss frame, and this is something that insurance people are able to do very successfully, people are more willing to take the risk. They are willing, even for their investments, they are more willing to buy more expensive insurance products which have features of an investment. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that insurance is not needed. Insurance, in fact, is very important, especially for those of you who have dependents, because when you die, kawawa naman your dependents, they will definitely suffer. Or if your earning capacity is impaired, they will really suffer. But what I'm saying here is that when you really decide to buy your investments, your investment instruments in order to have a good retirement in the future, please be more analytical. You really study the options. Remember that you are very much affected by the human wiring, which is loss averse. Remember the ratio 2:1. We hate it twice as much as we love the gain, so that you are buying the best products for yourself, for your family, for your future. Okay? So I hope that you are now made aware of this so that you would be able to make more rational decisions. Let me end with a few quotes. Louis Armstrong, of course, you know who Louis Armstrong, cyclist, no? And there's this quote from him that probably really exhibits this loss aversion among human beings. This is what he said. This is a very famous quote from him. I like to win, but more than anything, I can't stand the idea of losing, because to me, losing means death. Ayan. Siguro, he was way too much afraid, or he really hated losing too much that he ended up doing things which were not really allowed. And it cost him his career, it cost him everything. So try to ponder upon that. What are the decisions that you have been doing that was just because you were so afraid to lose? And speaking about losing, this afternoon, I will be losing my hair. I'm going to be having a really short haircut. And this is something that I've been thinking about for the last 2 summers siguro. So this is the last FQLive wherein you will see me with shoulder length hair. As if you care, no? Anyway, so going back to loss aversion, there are a couple more quotes that I'd like to share with you. Do you know that show of Maring Winnie Monsod? There was an episode in Bawal ang Pasaway wherein she was interviewing billionaires. And this is a good quote from Ricky Razon. Ricky Razon is the owner of ICTSI, which operates sports internationally. And he's also the owner of Bloomberry. So when he was asked about losing, sabi ni Maring Winnie, alam mo Ricky, hindi ka takot matalo, no? Di ba? Ganon magsalita si Maring Winnie. And then this is what he answered. Kung takot kang matalo, talo ka na talaga. Diba? Wise words from a man who has been very successful in his businesses. And of course, I cannot help but take it to to parenting. I remember Marvin saying this to the boys early on when they were still very young. This was a famous quote from them. If you learn how to lose, you will never lose. And I think this quote helped the boys really develop that sense of confidence. It was his way of encouraging them, okay, just go into sports. Kahit matalo ka, kahit banu ka, go ka lang. And it really paved the way to my sons developing that sense of confidence. Kasi if you have that fear of losing, if you're too obsessed about that fear of losing, it gets in the way. You are not able to give your best shot. It gets in the way of your confidence. So the parents of little kids out there, you start them early. I remember attending mga children's parties with my sons, and I would see kids who would just be there, sitting down, not joining this children's parties, interesting contest, di ba? Gaganda nga ng mga prizes eh. And then I would ask, why aren't you joining? It's so much fun there. And then it's either the boy, the girl, or even the parents would say, kasi he's afraid to lose. So, di ba, sayang? So anyway, be aware also that even our traditional schools seem to be not so encouraging of that. They seem to also discourage trying out, thinking out of the box. They are also very loss averse. So parang there is already a set of questions that you should answer so that you will always be an A boy or A girl. And syempre, the kids, they know that bringing home honors is the source of joy and pride of their parents. And it's good because I also enjoyed experiencing those. However, if your kids are not wired to be parang pang traditional school, don't fret and go look for their strengths and help them improve them. Because, you know, if loss aversion is just there getting in the way, we will not be able to help them develop to their fullest potential. So when it comes to parenting or investing or living your life, I encourage you to really ponder upon it. Loss aversion. You're not abnormal. It's really the way we're wired. We hate to lose twice as much as we would like to gain. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, I almost forgot about this. There's a question from Allrock Vic. Hello there. And his question was, at what level will the joy of winning overcome the fear of change? Of course, I cannot answer that statistically or with an algorithm. But if I'll put this back, your awareness of this is already your step towards answering your question. You know that it is twice as much. No? So you are right in saying that you need to know the level of winning that would overcome the fear of change. Because also, one of the reasons why, excuse me, one of the reasons why we hate to lose twice as much as we love to gain is that we have this propensity to like the status quo. So it's really the change also that matters. And maybe being aware of this, having this in your mind, and articulating the gains that you make in becoming a risk taker would help you even it out. Para hindi naman na maging twice as much. Your idea is sana mag-zero naman. Na losing 1,000 would just feel as much as gaining 1,000 on the other end of the spectrum. So again, Vic, what's your nickname? Allrock Vic, groovy ng name mo, ah. It is when you are aware of your propensity to be very loss averse that you will know that it's okay to lose. And when you learn to lose, you will never lose. Okay? So I hope you learned something new. Do share this with your family and friends who will benefit from the loss aversion principle. And I'll see you again next Wednesday. Bye, everybody. Cheers to high FQ.